Hey, what's going on, Tech? Oh, all right. We're going to start wave number two of our Q&A today. I wanted to hit two time zones. I have the start and soon screen up. We'll begin here in a second. Just making sure everything looks good on my end. YouTube can have some shenanigans. Hey, Ram. How you doing, man? Evil. It's YouTube, so is there any other kind? RW. Oh, man. All right, let's just jump on. Let's do this. Okay, so Tech, I get. We'll actually look at the grub theme today. I'll take a peek. Actually, let me go to chat. I've been working on some new things while I've been offline. Of course, I'm always tinkering. Let's. Oh, wrong scene. Uh, this new hardware, and it is cool, but I still have to set everything up. So I'm working. I switched out all my lighting, and everything is like super dark behind me and terrible. But I think I can adjust that if I don't blind myself doing it. Oh, that's a little too bright. All right, what about this one? Ah, all right. That seems very bright. It seems very bright. Oh man, I hope everybody's doing all right. If you guys have any questions, thank you for all the congrats on 300K. It's been amazing. Just had a blast. To celebrate today, I went and bought different lighting because I've been using the cheap $40 kits of lighting forever. And I was like, oh, let me switch some things up. I don't know if I'll keep this or not. I think it's just a little too weird, but I've started cleaning out my entire room. I ripped a lot of the sound dampening out just because it made me feel bad. Uh, did you watch the first? Oh, the LTT. Yeah, I saw the OnlyFans from LTT. Fun fact: he is now a top 1% OnlyFans streamer, or not streamer, but top 1% OnlyFans account, which is kind of nuts. Yeah, it's awesome though. He also got demonetized, I think, on that video. It was a little too risque, which is pretty funny. And I'm going to pop this out real quick. See everything a little bit better. I'm working on getting a better setup for everything. I got a brand new Stream Deck in, but I didn't have time to set it up. So that's when I was like clicking buttons when the stream started. I was like, "Oh crap. All right." So, yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it for next stream. Which one is the most memorable live stream event? That's a great question, Hikari. I would say the Drunken Debian stream was probably the best live event. Which, if nobody's familiar with that, one, I encourage you to go back watch it. But if you don't have a spare 6 hours, which I don't blame you, basically we had bad USB media. I was using an old thumb drive that was corrupt, and every time I was going to install it, Debian was failing, and it took like 2 or 3 hours, and then by hour four, I already was hitting mixed drinks pretty good. That I cut it off, and then I started back up later at night, and then by the time hour six rolled around, I was pretty much out. I was like, okay, it's bedtime. That was probably the most memorable live stream event because it was like 7 or 8 hours long and just ridiculous. Everyone was just cheering me on at the same time and just watching the train wreck happen. But we got Debian installed and it looked perfect at the end. I never gave up, which was pretty funny. I love it. Oh, accidentally deleting the wrong disk on the speed Arch install. Yeah, I was trying to install Arch in 10 minutes and I accidentally deleted that. Oh man, it's so good. So good. I actually have. I made a little. It made the little highlight section. I made a little trailer, which I'll share with everybody. It's pretty fun. Let's see. I'm gonna pull it up for you. Let's go desktop. Ah, crap. That's right. Desktop's not working. I keep hitting the Stream Deck. I gotta switch that over. Oh well, it's all good. We're there. This is pretty good though. Y'all will like this. I worked on it for a bit yesterday because I wanted to add a trailer instead of just a starting soon screen. And oh, I think this is it right here. Oof. Ah. Got the best faces when I pause. Oh, here we go. Let's see. I'm gonna actually pause the music if I can. The next thing on my list to get rid of is my Soundcraft. I hate this thing. It takes forever and it keeps dying on me. All right, here we go. Here we go. No audio. Oh, man. Really? No audio. All right, then. Well, I'll just put a link in. Crap. That sucks. All right. I'll work on that. That is a sad face. No habla en audio. Here, I'll go ahead and link it. I did put it on like the other channel, which y'all would like. And oh, here we go. Live stream trailer. And there's no audio, so you're not going to be starting anything, Chris. Try another. Oh, well, here's this. Yeah, if you guys aren't hearing that, then it's not working. No work, eh? I think maybe. Oh, I know what's happening. Let me go. I know exactly what's happening. Here we go. All right. The highlights that I've had happen over the past. Anybody hear that? You should. Yeah. Okay, so I was isolating my music tracks because I'm usually setting those up to Twitch because of copyright things, but since this is an unlisted stream, I don't think I might get a claim on this, but who cares? Let's watch. I don't think I'm even monetizing this stream anyways. Year or two. And if you're curious, I do talk about tech, crypto, and then also do gaming because who doesn't like playing games? So with that, we're going to roll this and then start the stream after. Yeah, this is where I actually deleted the drives. I hated that. I absolutely hated that. Everyone has that clip. Good to see you, Sark. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I made that yesterday. Still working on it a little bit, but I wanted to add like a clip section instead of just a starting soon screen. I think I saw like one of the really big streamers do it, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool! I should put a combination of clips together," and I did. Yeah, that's what happened. So, yeah, love it. Absolutely love that. Oh, hit the wrong chat again. I keep hitting my stream. Oh well, there we go. Doing good. Doing good. Thanks, guys, for the questions and just saying congrats. It means a lot to me. It's been a long time since I streamed on YouTube. I did stream a little bit earlier today, but I wanted to hit 2 time zones, so that's why I streamed at 10 o'clock, I think, about, 6 hours ago? So I wanted to hit it up again, catch this wave. If you guys have any questions, hit me up in chat. I was looking at some of chat here, and there's some good questions in here. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Is it live? Well, yeah, that was just a clip I made yesterday for that little bit. I was playing Deus Ex Mankind on Linux Native using OGL. I really hated NVIDIA, or not, yeah, NVIDIA. NVIDIA on Linux is just, I almost refuse to play games with my NVIDIA card on my Linux box. The tearing, I need to set up, yeah, it's just a nightmare compared to what AMD has. Sad to say. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Sark. Yeah, as far as hitting a huge milestone, I don't really have any more milestones. This is awesome. I love it. Your opinion on RMS. I really don't talk about Stallman at all on the channel, and I don't really have much of an opinion on a lot of the Linux stuff. Just try and stay out of that whole drama space. I will say this, though. I mean, the whole point of Stallman, I don't think he's a very good leader. He's not a very good public speaker. And I thought that was kind of a dumb decision by the free software. Obviously, I think if they could take it back, they would, but they can't now. And it didn't do anybody any favors having him back. That said, I think the guy created something amazing in a lot of free software. He also did some amazing things with, GNU and in a lot of the software or the userland tools we have in Linux. I'm not diminishing that. I'm just saying he's a terrible speaker, and he really, really should not be in a leadership role speaking to the public. That's just not a good idea. It's like putting someone autistic in front of a crowd and then expecting magic to happen. Kind of dumb. So that's my take. I'm not gonna make a video or anything about it. I was just like, oh, drama. I try and stay away from it. What do you think of two-factor authentication like YubiKey? YubiKey is absolutely amazing. I love YubiKey. I highly recommend it if you want security with your system, get a YubiKey. I really think hardware with the software portion of it is pretty much mandatory for, I would say, any laptop I use, I want a YubiKey. Is it a good idea to host my basic website myself just on my home PC? Simon, I did that for a while, so I didn't want to spend any money. And it's totally okay. You're not going to get like ranked in with anything. And when you serve stuff across the world, it's going to be like terrible. So don't think you're going to ever build a website and like cultivate a following on a self-hosted website through your house. However, it's a great place to just learn, and learning about it is really the key. Developing that knowledge is awesome. So self-hosting is fantastic. Actually, I'm going to make a video specifically going over self-hosting. I wanted to talk about using like a Raspberry Pi, which I think I have. Oh, everything's upside. Oh, here we go. Yeah, little Raspberry Pi. So I wanted to go over and make a video like doing a lamp stack on a Raspberry Pi. So then you can self-host and stick this wherever you want, and then learn more about doing your own web services. Now, if you don't want to do that, now I don't pay anything for my website, christitus.com, because I use Hugo with Netlify, and even I just make sure I'm not serving anything really large on my website. It doesn't count against my bandwidth limits, and it's absolutely amazing. So totally good. Have you got hacked? No, I don't think I've ever been hacked, but it's one of those things. Security is a moving target. It's a journey, not a destination. So I never say I won't get hacked, because there's always chances of that. Just try and make yourself less of a target. However, the bigger I get, the more of a target. And never underestimate hackers. They have never underestimate just humans in general. Whenever you put your mind to something, I think anybody can achieve it. So nothing's unhackable. And I luckily have not yet, but I imagine it will happen eventually. Oh, the Facebook hack. Yeah, don't use Facebook. I laughed on that. I was like, what is this? I think I made a tweet about the Facebook hack, and I was like, is this the 50th time this has happened? I can't believe people still are using Facebook. And just make sure you don't put anything private on there, because it'll obviously is going to get leaked. They've been hacked, I think, at least 2 or 3 times a year, and they've leaked all their users' information time and time again. So that's that. What do you think about Void Linux? I think Void Linux is really awesome, Dim, just because you get away from, you can choose something other than systemd. I think initd is what most guides on Void Linux have, and you can kind of get away from systemd and kind of see different systems in that regard, which is kind of neat. I really dig it. I don't really use it myself. Gentoo, I have not really used as a daily driver. We did it on a live stream on Twitch for, I think hour 3 when the compile happened, and we started compiling. Everybody fell asleep, and I was just like, all right, well, that's Gentoo for you. It's more of a meme than actually being used. Oh, tech, that sucks, man. Yeah, getting hack's no fun. Totally. I mean, if you want something unhackable, take it off the internet. You know, that's the biggest thing. Is there benefits to use BetterFS over XFS and ext4? Snapshots for BetterFS is amazing. I love the snapshots. And honestly, there's a new bootloader for Windows that you can use, and that bootloader will be able to use BetterFS as your file system instead of NTFS on Windows. It's kind of neat. I think I haven't really tried it out very much, but I did see the project. It was very interesting. Fedora, that's actually Victor. Fedora always held a place in my heart, because that was one of my first Linux distros. It was the first desktop distro I ever had, mainly because I was using not OpenSUSE, but CentOS. CentOS. I was big time. I wouldn't say big time, but I made probably 100 to 150 CentOS servers with telephony on them, using FreePBX and Asterisk. So I made a lot of telephony boxes for disaster recovery type scenarios. We usually get contracted, and I've probably built a lot of those for. We dealt with FEMA, ATF, a lot of government entities, which is kind of cool. Will you be streaming on Odyssey in the future? Yeah, I'll give it a whirl. I love to see some more diversification with the streaming platforms. I don't have high hopes because it's such a technological marvel to try and do streaming right. But yeah, no, I totally will stream on Odyssey and try it out. I think that'd be awesome. How's the Minecraft server? I think my daughter's actually playing in it right now. We have like our own little Minecraft server, uh, and I pulled it up on the last stream. I'll go ahead and make a new one. Show you all. Oh no, don't press it. Don't press it, Chris. Minecraft.christitus.com. So if you want to try it out, you can always jump in game. Um, it's a little website I put together. You got server stats up here. Server stats right here, where you can see kind of different stats, people, players, current players, those types of things. And you can even see like a little map. I use Blue Map instead of Dynamap, which kind of gives you a neat little overview, and you can kind of get a little more 3D. It's neat. I like a Blue Map. I decided to go with that instead. And everything's built from scratch. So this is, I think, an Ubuntu 20 server that I built out a while back, which has been pretty good. I need to make a video going over that for folks. How many PCs you got? Right now I have a stream PC, which is mainly Windows. I have my main work PC, which you guys just saw, which is dual booting Windows and Linux. And then I have this Mac Mini, which right here. I do have another PC, which you really can't see because of the lighting, but it's back here. I'm selling that one and get rid of it. And I should be down to, oh no. Then I got my inside PC, and then I got my laptop, and then just a crap ton of stuff at work, which, yeah, I'm just trying to downsize it all and try and get rid of a lot of things. Have you tried tiling window manager? Yeah, actually, I love awesome window manager. I actually have my own Git project for that over on my GitHub, which a lot of people have forked. I don't know how many people have actually tried my new project. I think it's called Titus Awesome. Hikari actually turned me on to this theme, and then I forked it and kind of went a different direction. Check out Hikari's one as well, because he has his own GitHub with a different style, because I took out the sidebar and some other things, which I'll show you. This little theme right here, which you've probably seen me on, and I can reboot to it as well. But yeah, neat little project. I love this tile and window manager theme. I'm working on Qtile and doing some other theming soon for an upcoming video or Ryzen computer, which should be fun. Is YouTube your full-time job? Kind of. I still do. I'm still an IT manager for a law firm in Dallas, and I've cut back to about a day a week over there. And yeah, I make most of my revenue, I would say, is YouTube these days, or whether it's affiliate links and other stuff. Combine it together. I'm making more on YouTube than I am at my day job, which I have taken pay cuts at my day job to try and go down to 1 day a week, and I'm 1 day a week there, and that'll probably continue for the foreseeable future as I'm able to do stuff. The bad thing about that is I am on call, so I do have days where I get blown up. Today was one of those days. I'm kind of exhausted. I had probably 5 or 6 support calls today. So that kind of sucks. But I don't know. I kind of like the diversity between here and that. New Arch. Oh yeah, Mitchell, I'm definitely going to be talking the new Arch installer. That's kind of, I don't know how I feel about it, because I always turn people onto Arch to learn Linux, because installing Arch, you learn so much during that process, and I wanted to see what that would be like. And yeah, you know. Do I mine cryptocurrency? I've mined a lot of cryptocurrency in my day. Here was 2017, which I did a recent video on passive income. Well, I know that's kind of outside my wheelhouse, but let me go photos. I don't think there's anything bad in my photos. We're not streaming to very many people. I think, oh, let's see, albums. I think, yeah, here we go. This should be good. All right, I'll go over to the desktop. And yeah. So this was back in 2017, and this was a little mining setup. This is Texas too, so it's pretty hot out here. I ended up daisy chaining off one board. I got up to I think 13 cards back in 2017. I tapped into. I obviously was going above the amount I could pull from the wall, so I actually tapped into my circuit box, installed a 30 amp 220 volt. That gives me roughly about 7,000 watts that I could pull from, more than I needed. And then I put in a server PSU right here, put into here, and then it was just more of a fun experiment, seeing how many cards I can get up to. And I think I did at the very end here. I think this is up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, I got up to 12 cards mining back in 2017. I did run into like some ground loops. Whenever you daisy chain power supplies, there's some fun things that you have to worry about when you have multiple power supplies, and isolating and getting rid of ground loops could be kind of a hassle. So that was a fun experiment back then. But these days, I think I have maybe 3 or 4 cards that I'm actually going to be getting rid of, and getting rid of all mining. But yeah, most miners, as far as graphics cards and stuff, you should see stock return here in a couple months. I do imagine mining taking a complete dump. And if anybody's buying cards right now, the scalpers buying cards are just going to get dunked on, and they're going to have to take a bath on the resale market, which is totally fine with me. I love seeing that. And then we should have an abundance of graphics cards by the end of the year. How much money do I make? I actually made an entire video on how much money I make. I encourage you to watch it. Here, I'll link it in chat for you, because I don't even know. I, I just kind of just do everything I possibly can, and then at the end of the day, as long as I can make my bills, I'm good. I think what money? Let's see. I think this right here. Yeah, this one's good. This actually shows you how much money I've earned over my entire career. I break down every single career path, or every single thing I've done in here. Thanks so much for the super chat, Alice. Much appreciated. But here is that video. How much? Oh yeah, yeah. How much money I earned. There you go. That'll help you out. Have you ever been a radio ham? I have not, Gerald. The new Arch installer uses full system D stack, which I find hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, elitists in the Arch community is gonna have a just die. So are they not even using Grub in the new Arch launcher, Hikari? That's nuts. Can you make a video how to optimize Windows 10? Yeah, I actually have an entire playlist, chill, about that. Here, I'll link that as chat as well. Uh, Optimizing Windows 10 is also a journey, not a destination. Because you just got to continually optimize that thing. I tell you. Let's see here. I should have it. Um, no. Where's Windows? Windows tips and tricks, but I think I had an entire playlist for specifically. Well, here we go. Windows optimization videos. I've done about 11 videos on optimizing Windows. Here you go. Win 10 optimization videos. Boom. There you go. Linux is better than Windows. Yeah, I like Linux for a lot of my productivity stuff. If I'm gaming, I'm on Windows. I've been playing a whole bunch of Final Fantasy 11 lately. That's been my new vice, where I am talking Final Fantasy 11, the one from 2003. I really like old school MMO games, and I've just been playing that a lot, which is just a blast. Fun to build Arch, make it your own. Have you tried it? Yeah, yeah. Arch is just a blast. Oh, Genshin Impact, yeah. My son plays a ton of Genshin Impact, so I'll play with him. We usually do the wolf guy at the weekly wolf guy, and then usually just run some little missions here and there, just to kind of hang out. I've tried Cyberpunk. I haven't really gotten into it. I have a hard time playing modern games. I don't know what it is, and eh, I find myself playing old, like Final Fantasy 11 a lot, and I also find myself playing chess a whole bunch. Probably chess more than anything. I usually play anywhere between 5 to 10 games of chess a day, but I usually do it like it sounds like a lot, but it's actually like 5 minute games. No, I haven't done Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think you have to have like the entire setup with the cockpit and the wheel and all the instruments. I think you can make that a lot of fun, but I just never have. That's the thing. As I get older, I just gaming itself, it takes a while for it to just grip me. And a lot of times I end up just falling back to my old games that I love. Uh, and chess has been one I've been playing pretty consistently for 6 months to a year now, and I'm only. It depends on the rating. I think I'm around 1,000 rating in Blitz, and around a 1,200 rating in Rapid. Using chess.com's rating. Lit chess is about 200 or 300 points above that. Yeah, Zonic. I love that. It's kind of a good little like Quake Arena type style game, which is kind of funny. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever told anybody this, but I actually used to play Quake 2 professionally back in, well, not professionally, but I used to play in tournaments and win prize money with Quake 2 back in 1997, I think it was, 97 and 98. I was really, really heavy into Quake 2. Loved Quake 2. You get into like Q2 DM1, The Edge. Man, that was my map. And I could own in that. What's the best security? Oh, I was thinking about this. Is a good question, Rybar. I was thinking about doing a video specifically over privacy and freedom because there's so many misconceptions with those two things that I would probably touch first on privacy because that's more in the technological space, and it's so badly misunderstood when it comes to VPNs and how to actually be private. Most people won't ever like what I say on this, but basically, to be private, you need to get off social media. YouTube, Facebook, all of these things are really bad. Obviously, don't have an IoT device in your house that's connected to big tech. It's much more difficult than you think. And even Amazon, for instance, can be pretty aggressive with how they do a lot of the tracking. So, no Amazon, no Google, pretty much get rid of everything connected to big tech, and you can be a bit more private. But to do that, you're going to be heavily inconvenienced, and most people just can't do that. It's so much easier to be like, oh, okay, I'll just buy a VPN and I'll be more private or secure, and that's just not how that works at all. Thanks for the super chat, Nelson. Just wanted to say thank you for everything you do. Well, thanks for watching my videos, man. I've loved making it. I still love doing this. Every time I jump in here, I really love it. I've been working on redoing a lot of the things in my studio because lately I've been having a hard time coming into the studio and making videos. I just kind of had a rut where it's hard to get in here and make a video. And I was like, okay. So today I've actually ripped out everything. Most of my foam tiles, I probably have a lot more reverb going on with my voice, but I wanted to just kind of clean up my studio a bit and get it to a point where I want to not be in just come in here and want to make videos. And that's why I've been ripping out all of my foam tiles. And I'm just like, you know what? If the audio takes a little bit of a hit because of it, it's worth it just so I feel better. Because all this black tile everywhere on this side, I just can't deal. I just can't. So that's what I've been doing. I've actually ripped that out, and then I added these two lights today, which the lights are a little bit a little bit distracting. I'll fiddle with it more after stream. I just wanted to get on here and say hi to everybody, answer any questions y'all have. What do you think of Filecoin? And it's interesting. You're not going to really make much money on it. I think what Storejoy or Store.io, I can't remember. There's a bunch of different coins that have been kind of happening over the past 3 to 4 years, and you won't make much money doing it. But it's really interesting technology, and I would love to see a decentralized mass storage. It's just nobody's really using the services yet, so there's no money to really be made in those services. Not to say they won't succeed, though. I really hope they do, because I would love a more decentralized storage and what that blockchain project does. So I really hope they do a good job. But yeah, right now, it's just not widely used. I want to make my own gaming server. What else can you prefer for me? Max 50 player. Ooh, I would say for only a 50 player server, you should be good, Big Chad, with a pretty minimal setup. You could just use any old PC and probably get up to 50 server. A lot of it is all done from the CLI. I know my Minecraft server runs strictly off of, I think, a Ubuntu 20 server. So I don't even have a GUI or anything on there, and it flies right along. Although it is hosted with like a VPS, so it's not like I'm self-hosting that stuff. I think Sky Silk. It was one of my very first sponsor spots I ever had, and I don't really do sponsor spots anymore. Very, very little sponsor spots. But they, instead of paying me money, they're like, "Hey, we'll give you." I think I made a deal with them, and I was like, "Hey, just give me a login and let me spin up whatever server I want." So they did, and that deal, I guess, still stands today. So shout out to Sky Silk, because they still haven't shut me off. Hopefully they don't see this and shut me off. But I've been using the crap out of that service. Way better than any amount of money I could have received for a sponsored spot. Because I use that, and that's actually what's running on the Minecraft server. Yeah, it's minecraft.christitus.com. Here's the link right there. You can see server stats, map, just all kinds of stuff from that server. And it's all the basic ports as well. So you can just plug that into your multiplayer and jump in there. NVIDIA enabling PCI pass-through. Yeah, I probably could do an updated video on that. I just really hate NVIDIA cards. For the most part. Although with NVIDIA cards with PCI pass-through, NVIDIA is fantastic on Windows, so that actually makes a lot more sense that I could actually update that. Yeah, I might do an update video. I'm not gonna say I am for sure, but definitely gonna be something. You should make a new channel called Chris Titus Gaming. I am actually. Oh man, it'd be great. I actually I've created the channel. What did I call it? I don't even remember. Um, let's see. Titus Tech Gaming. I might change the name. We'll see. But yeah, Titus Tech Gaming is got 2 subscribers, but I don't have any videos up yet. I will do another one once I get more into it, because I would love to game a little bit more and actually have a fun time with my kids and have them on there a little bit and chat with them and go on adventures and make themes and stuff. It's something that I think would enjoy, and also be able to spend time with my kids doing. You like coffee? Okay. Okay, the coffee question kind of hits home, because I quit caffeine altogether. Cold, just boom. I had my surgery, and then I was like, you know what? I'm already laid up and I'm already on pain meds. I might as well just quit caffeine. So I didn't have caffeine for 2 whole weeks. And then I went to go drink a cup of coffee, and I only got about halfway through the cup, and I was like, oh, wow, I just can't do anymore. So I literally went from drinking probably 32 ounces of coffee to now I can barely stand 10 ounces. And it was just a good reset. So I'm not going to say I love coffee, by the way, but it's something that I'm trying to keep a very, very small amount, and I'm not going to drink it every day for health. I don't know. It might just be one of those hippie things where they say caffeine isn't good for you, but nah, whatever. Yeah. I do love tea as well, so I haven't been drinking any tea. Espresso. I love all the when it comes to Samsung solid states, I've never had any problems with any of them. Almost all of my solid state drives, like, look, I've got two sitting right here. I'm Samsung all the way. This is a 860 Evo and this is an 850 Evo, and I've used the crap out of these. I've just abused them to no end, and they just keep ticking. They just keep going. I never have a problem. Can't say enough good things about my Samsung. Yeah, sugar's a bad one for sure for me. I try to drink as much good sugar as I can, if there is such a thing, like bananas and grapes and stuff, but I do love me some chocolate. I will always love chocolate, but yeah. American breakfast is the ultimate sugar rush. If you're unfamiliar, you should see our breakfast aisle. It's amazing. I remember I visited Sweden and I went to their grocery store and I was like, "Where's all your cereal?" And they're like, "We don't have any." They had like maybe like a little shelf of cereal. I was like, "Oh, what the hell?" It was the most probably American thing I could do in Sweden. Do you think you'll install Gen 2? Gen 2 has its place in time. Like, as you know, just to be serious for a second, Gen 2 is mainly a meme. Hey, install Gen 2 on a live stream, whatever it might be. Gen 2 can be really good if you have one specific purpose. If you have one specific purpose, let's say it's displaying something like a menu at a store on a plasma or something like that. Gen 2 is perfect for that because you can build that entire operating system around that one thing and it'll just run forever. And you can strip it down to almost nothing, which is fantastic. But as far as a daily driver, nah, forget about it. Gothenburg. It's been a while though. I haven't left the States in probably well over a decade. I went to Gothenburg back in 2003, I think it was 2003, 2004. I stayed there for about a month. It was fun. It was really cool. I loved it out there. Although I went during July, I don't think I could handle Swedish winters. That's for sure. Yeah, Chrome OS was actually based on Gen 2, which is funny. What programming language do you prefer? I'm not very fluent in any programming language. Back in the late 90s, I did several years of C++. It's probably my most known back then, where it was like Borland C++. I think it was like 5 or 6. I forget the compiler that I was using, but yeah, I've lost most of that, if not all of it. I still know top-down programming and little things here and there, but nothing too crazy. Is it a good idea to host a website from your home server? Actually, Thomas, someone else asked that earlier. If you have a lot of traffic coming to you, no, it's a terrible idea. But if you're new to web building or trying to host your own servers, do it. It's a great learning experience and you'll get a lot of exposure to things you need to do and shouldn't do in like VPSs and those types of things. It'll save you a lot of money. So definitely check it out. Greetings from Bavaria. Well, thanks, man. Much appreciated. Whatever happened to WoW? Oh yeah, I played WoW Classic for a day or two, maybe, on Twitch. And then I was like, no, I'm out. I just can't do WoW. Can't do WoW anymore. What do your kids think about your dad being a YouTuber? I was actually talking to Tom uh with Lawrence PC Systems, which if you haven't seen his YouTube channel, he's an excellent guy. very knowledgeable, has a whole array of IT uh, videos that explain pretty much everything. Huge with PF Sense and Ubiquity. Anyways, I was talking to him, and we talked a little bit about that because his wife might get into YouTube or thinking about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And we got to talking about being an influencer or a YouTuber, and it's cringe every single time I say it, to the point where I don't know if it's just my generation or maybe the older generation that I'm around a lot, where I just I can't tell people I'm a YouTuber. I never do. When people ask me, "Hey, what do you do?" I still respond with my day job and say I'm an IT manager. And yeah, I probably have to switch that title, but there's still a stigma associated with it to where some people will think less of you by saying YouTuber. So I don't really tell too many people I'm ever a YouTuber, and I'm not big enough to where I really see very many people walk up to me on the street and say, "Oh, hey, I've seen your videos." I think I've had maybe 2 or 3 people do that, but yeah, not very much. But then again, I'm kind of an introvert and I haven't really been out in the past. What terminal editor do you use? I'm really big on Vim. I love Vim. But Nano's a good one for beginners, so I always show kind of both, but Vim is awesome. Is it worth buying used parts for building a system? Depends on the used part. Some used parts are good, some are bad, and it just depends on what you're doing. Yeah, Peter hounded me for about a year live streaming over on Twitch. And then finally I was like, all right, I'm going to do Vim Tutor. And I did the Vim Tutor, and then I was like, okay, this is awesome. I absolutely have to stick with it. So I've been on Vim for pretty much ever. For coding, though, I still use VS Code, although I do use VS Codium now, which is the open source. It strips out all the Microsoft telemetry that's built into VS Code. So if you're interested in more of an open source and staying out of the Microsoft net, by all means, try Codium. VS Codium, I think it is. Are you still using Synology? Yeah. I love Synology, man. I use Synology for pretty much everything. Which is best, Windows or Manjaro? Depends on what you're doing. I love the Manjaro team. Uh, Philippe Mueller is a fantastic guy. I've even had him contact me via email a couple times. Create an OnlyFans before someone else takes your name. It's probably too late, Starkey. Linus ruined it for all us other tech YouTubers. Oh my gosh. Love it. What AMD GPU do you recommend? Never had one. Always been with NVIDIA. Tech, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're playing like the bleeding edge games, obviously the new line looks very, very promising if you can get one. Eventually they'll get stocked, but I would love to have like what is it, the 6800 XT looks like a beast. And if you have the new 5000 series AMD processors, it's apparently just unbelievably top of its class when it comes to performance. But nobody can get either one, so there's that. If you're gonna just buy one on the second hand market and you're playing a little bit older games like me, my favorite AMD card of all time and what I'm still running here is the RX 580. Love, love, love the AMD RX 580. 570 is also a good card. It's a little bit cheaper, a little bit less performant. I think like maybe 10%, but fantastic cards. I loved all of the 500 series, and honestly, the 500 and 400 series, it's interchangeable. I think the 500 series is pretty much the same hardware. It just had a slightly different tweak on the chip to where it produced like 15% more gains, but runs a little hotter. So either one, the RX 400, 500 series, it's actually the same card, really. Both those, oh, still in love with them. To this day, I still use them. Oh, League of Legends. Yeah, I played League of Legends a lot. Actually, my cousin was really big into League of Legends. I think he was a gold tier guy. I barely. I think I made it to silver 5 once. I never really got too big into League of Legends, but I would mainly play support like Blitzcrank and uh, that type of stuff. I would mainly just cheese it and play with him, and then he'd probably carry me for most of that. Which antivirus software do you recommend for Linux? Oh, I don't know if I recommend an antivirus software for Linux. I no, I really don't like antivirus on Linux. But I really don't like it that much on Windows either. It's just a requirement. So take that with a grain of salt. What's your favorite game right now? Final Fantasy 11. Yeah, the one from 2003 or 2002 if you're over in Japan. Love me some Final Fantasy 11. Still play it and I love it. What's your opinion of dual boot? Oh, check it out. I'll show you my opinion. I think dual boot is essential. And I think we'll just go ahead and give it a reboot. Let's restart live on stream. Why not? I want to take an Ubuntu based distro to deploy my own. Where to start? Um, I would say, Big Chad, you just start stripping out what you want. I don't like a lot of the built-in stuff from Ubuntu server these days to where I don't really use it very often. But a lot of times I just get lazy and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll just throw Ubuntu server on there and then build it out. I would say uh, probably my favorite thing to do with Ubuntu server if you love Ubuntu, I really say start with Ubuntu server and then just install everything you need for your system. Let's go Linux here. Do you recommend upgrading to 21H1? No, I do not recommend that. Leave it be for at least a good 6 months, probably. In business, typically I wait about 2 years before actually making the leap to a new anything. It's just one of those things. What do you think about Pop OS? Love Pop OS. I just hate GNOME. I'm not a big fan of the GNOME desktop environment, but I love Pop OS. Actually, the very first series I did when I said Windows to Linux playlist, the one from I want to say 2019, I did Pop OS because I loved the feature set. I love System 76 and their team, and yeah, I just hate uh, a lot of Ubuntu based. I don't really care for that. I also really hate GNOME desktop environment, which is what their stock thing is for System 76. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of my hate of Ubuntu or my hate of GNOME they've heard about it because they haven't sent me any products. I've even reached out to System 76 and they're like, no. We're not interested. So I'm pretty sure I pissed off somebody over at System 76 or struck a nerve because I haven't heard anything from them. Which is bad. Not too bad because I do love System 76. So don't take it as a shot against them. Just, yeah. Yeah, as far as a terminal editor, oh, yeah. It depends on what you're doing, but let's see. What do you think laptops will be coming cheaper again? Just before they. Oh, man. So who's saying that probably the biggest thing I worry about with laptops and laptop based things are prices not returning to normal. I worry about things being inflated for a while, and if they can get away with it and there's still such a stock shortage, it's not until there's a surplus that we really will see a fall in price. I just don't know when that surplus will be, and I hope soon. I really hope soon. Parrot OS or Kali? I don't like either. I'm gonna go Debian, vanilla Debian. If you haven't done that, I think you should totally do that. Opinion of OpenBSD. I think a lot of like your hardcore Linux vets that have always prided themselves as being Linux users of like 10 plus years. I think a lot of people end up going to BSD because Linux itself, I think, will just kind of become this monstrous beast of a kernel and other stuff, and people will miss when Linux was smaller and less supported. And I think a lot of those people will actually end up moving to BSD, and you'll start to see it increase. But I don't know. I'm not going to be moving to BSD anytime soon. Is your main PC in the server rack as well? Yeah. All my PCs are actually back here, which ah, focus. Yeah, they're back here. And ah, it's pretty good. I like just having one or two PCs. I'm really trying to downsize more of my gear to where it's not so big. And I'm going to turn on this light. This light is way too bright. I think I'm blind. I waited till the end of the stream to do that. And bring that down to 5. Ah, feel better. What Linux distro are you recommending? I always recommend Linux Mint. If you have to ask, I always say Linux Mint. It's such a rock solid distro. I love Clem, the lead developer over there, genius, and he does such a fantastic job. So Linux Mint's always my recommendation for any new users to Linux. It's a good place to start. And some people just stay. Like I say start, but I know like RWX Rob, which is he's a big he teaches a lot of educational content about Linux and other scripting languages. I think he even worked for like IBM and a bunch of mainframe stuff throughout his career. He's older, but a very very wise man, and he streams over on Twitch as well. And I'll jump on his streams every once in a while. And yeah, he still uses Linux Mint, and he's been using Linux for like hell. He's been on Unix, like he's been there since like the 70s. That's so he's very versed, and he can use anything he wants, and he still uses Linux Mint. So don't think that someone that uses Arch or whatever distro is better than or more knowledgeable. Some of the most knowledgeable people I've met in the Linux space use Mint or just plain Ubuntu. It's kind of funny. Some of them are just like, I'm too lazy. I'm just gonna just roll with what I know and just do that, which is totally fine. And yeah, as far as breaking Debian, I think I ran Debian SID for a while, and I couldn't break that thing. Debian just as always goes. That's awesome, Tech. Yeah, it's my favorite theme, man. I love CyberRE. I'm definitely gonna check that theme out as well. Why do so many businesses still use Windows 7 for their POS terminals? I think the POS terminals have support all the way to 2025, and redoing all those terminals is very, very painstaking and very expensive. So they're going to just keep rocking that for a while. I do see many hospitals still using Windows 7, which is the most scary thing. The problem with Windows 7 is it's very exploitable, and if you're not up to date with patches, Script Kiddie could pretty much get you with Metasploit. If you ever want to pen test Windows 7, take your old Windows 7 disk, install it on a machine somewhere, and then as a goof, just grab a Kali Linux. You don't have to install Kali Linux on your system, but it has all the hacking tools that you need. Run Metasploit. I think it's uh, I want to say Blue Ocean, but that's not it. I can't remember the exploit, but anyways, it's well documented online, and you can just break right into that machine, run commands, do all kinds of shenanigans with Windows 7. And probably the biggest problem with that is ransomware, which anybody in IT, the thing we stay up at night and have nightmares about is ransomware. And that's one thing I'm really worried about with hospitals running Windows 7. I really, really want more of the infrastructure, like the things that we rely on, to get off Windows 7. And I would prefer them to be on Linux. I've had this happen like on the last stream too. Someone was like, "What altcoin?" I was like, "Oh, all crypto altcoins are is just a glamorized version of penny stocks in the stock market. Yeah, they can go up 1,000%, but they can also go to zero pretty darn quick. So be careful with that stuff. I usually stream every Friday on Twitch, and then YouTube. I'm going to start streaming every month. I'm going to jump on here, just do a question and answer stream like this. I love just talking to everybody, hearing everybody's feedback, kind of seeing where the pulse is with the community, and then yeah, it's always a fun time jumping on here. I love it. Absolutely love it. Doge. Yeah. Oh, I love it. But yeah, I try and stream a little bit both. The YouTube streams, I pretty much just archive or make unlisted afterwards because YouTube will punish me for basically listing these streams after the fact. So I don't actually leave them on my channel, even though they are unlisted. You can always see them through like the members archive and stuff like that. And if you want to watch this after the fact, I will leave the unlisted link on the top comment of the community post. So you can still reach it if you're not a member. Yeah, I got a cousin that still loves Windows 7. I think if you can find, if he's not patching, probably the best thing you can do, tech, if you want to get somebody off Windows 7 and he hadn't patched, if he hadn't patched since 2017, Metasploit, stock Metasploit, you don't even have to update any updates. Update any updates. You don't even have to update anything. You can just get on there, run your Metasploit, take control of some computer, open up a CD-ROM drive, tell him he needs a cup holder, just mess with him, and then he'll be like, okay, I probably should get off Windows 7. Yeah, I see so many people about the NFTs. Uh, I don't know where that whole space is going. I made a video about NFTs if anybody's interested in that. I think it was 4 or 5 videos ago, but I'm not buying any NFTs. I think it's a waste of money, and it's like Beanie Babies for sure. There's gonna be that's a big bubble that's gonna pop. The rest of crypto, I'm not gonna lump it into the Beanie Babies craze, but NFTs I will definitely lump in there. Or it could just be used a good way to launder money. You know, you buy a painting for $69 million or whatever it was. Yeah, there's some shady stuff going on in the NFT space for sure. I haven't played Valorant. Last I think first person shooter game I played was Warzone. Do you manage your YouTube channel all by yourself? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really um I love just getting on YouTube and just kind of doing my own thing. Like if you look at my videos, you'll notice sometimes I'm talking about Windows, sometimes it's Linux, sometimes I just go off on a weird rant and talk about crypto. But I love that freedom, and I still have a day job. I still do that, but I also do YouTube on the side. I guess it's kind of like my main thing now, but I still go into work about one day a week and take a whole bunch of calls. You know, I'm still on call, but yeah, I I do manage it all by myself, and I could probably do a lot better job if I had like a team of people, but I don't know, that would just add stress to my life, I feel, because I hate managing people. As a, I've been an IT manager and I was an IT director for a little bit where I had a team of people underneath me, and that's just very stressful. Like I don't think very many people give like Linus Tech Tips enough credit. The dude has hired 30 people. He has an entire company, an entire media arm, really. And he manages all that. Man, that's a lot of stress. I ain't about that. Yeah, he's making millions for sure. But the stress that goes with that is just not worth it, in my opinion. That's why I just kind of do it all on my own. So different objectives or goals. I love YouTube because I get to talk to people. I get to make fun things. I kind of get to take all the things out of my head and catalog them in a library for people to better themselves. I think that's the ultimate of awesome. And yeah, I could probably do a lot more things to monetize things better, but again, it's more about the I put happiness over everything else. Am I happy doing this? Will this make me happy? If it doesn't, I try and be like, nope, I don't care how much money it's going to make me. Happiness is always my goal. Weird rant, but hey, it's me. I'm a weird guy. Uh, yeah. Yeah, Linus definitely works himself to death. Me, on the other hand, not so much. I try to be as lazy as I can and just do, I set specific goals that I'm like, okay, I got to get at least 2 videos out a week. Some weeks I get better, some weeks I don't, and I just make my 2 videos. But I always usually get at least 2 videos out. And other times I'm just like, forget it. I'm going to stream. Honestly, if I had to do it, if I could make enough streaming, I would just stream all the time. Streaming is so much fun. I love the interaction. What are your audience demographics? I think I'm like 96% male, 4% female. So thank you for the 4% of the females that watch me. So it's not all that way. Although I will say, when I was talking about Linux content, like almost exclusively, that was like 2% female. So my female audience has grown double to 4% now, which is kind of cool. But mostly, as far as the demographics across the world, most of the views come from U.S. About 30% from the U.S. A lot from India. A lot from Germany, actually, one of the European countries that uses quite a bit, and then UK. UK is up there as well. What would be your dream laptop with components of your choice? Hussein, I made a video about the unique laptop that K Focus. Man, I love that laptop. It's great. That said, I hate most laptops. I'm not a laptop guy at all. Never will be. I'm not a fan of most of them. The K Focus is just a beast of a laptop. It's got like 64 gigs of memory, a 2080 Super. It's actually the most powerful computer I own. And that whole video, when I talked to the K Focus guys, I just said, hey, you send me that laptop and I get to keep it, I'll make a video. And they're like, okay. So they sent it over and I was like, okay, cool. And that was it. And to me, that was the best representation, because I always wanted like a freaking beast of a laptop. And that thing, you could pretty much power a city with it. Yeah, I think it's still an Intel chip, because the AMD ones haven't really hit mainstream just yet. So we'll see what the AMD chips come out with this year. I'm really looking forward to the latest line of laptop chips for AMD, but AMD has always been a little bit behind Intel in the laptop space, but obviously they're passing them up with the latest chips. You should make more Arch videos. Yeah, we'll see. VPNs versus cloud VPS, which is better? Mark, it depends on what your goal is. I think cloud VPS is more secure, privacy wise. It just depends on what the VPS is, information that's with the VPS, how you acquire that. There's a lot of factors that go into it. But at the end of the day, the VPN, all it does is just give you another jump in the hops to get to your IP. And I think that's good depending on what you're doing. But most VPN providers and stuff, I just want to be watching something on Netflix or something like that, and I just want the fastest speed possible. So when, like, you look down in the description for my VPN choice, I always say ExpressVPN. They're huge. They got thousands of servers, and they're fast. And I'm able to look at stuff on, like, a lot of times I'll pop over to the UK, so then I can get the UK Netflix, and I love that. So that's why I do that. Taryn, thanks for the super chat. Much appreciated. But as far as like VPNs for security and privacy, there's so much bad marketing with VPNs that if you're using it for security and privacy, you better be doing a lot more than having a VPN. That's all I'm going to say. That's a whole rant. It's a whole 30-minute rant about privacy, which I will make a video about. What DNS do you use? Most of the DNSs I use are I'll use Cloudflare, which is just 1.1.1.1. I'll also use Quad 9. Quad 9 is a good one. Occasionally I'll use level 3 if I'm just looking for speed and I just want fast resolution. Usually level 3 is the most performant of public DNS. So that's if you're unfamiliar, level 3 is 4.2.2.1, and it goes 1 dot or dot 1 to I think dot 6 now. So they have a lot of DNS servers for level 3. The worst thing anybody that's watching this video you could do is use your ISP's DNS, such as AT&T or Comcast or any of that. Super bad. Don't use your ISP's DNS. No one ever does that in business that knows anything. Hey, thanks, Chris. Much appreciated for the super chat. Just stopping by to drop a piece. Keep doing what you're passionate about. I will, man. I will. I love all technology, man. That's the thing I absolutely love. It just getting on here, being able to make a video, even my Windows videos, I still love it. I still love making those different technology videos. I kind of bounce around a little bit so I don't get burnt out on a certain subject, but I love all of it. Best way to run multiple VPNs simultaneously for different applications. You can split out your network. If you're really wanting to get into more of like quarantining certain things, check out Cubes OS. I think I did a couple videos on it, albeit like 2 years ago or something. I should probably revisit that because setting up that is just amazing. Love it. What's up? Oh, okay. All right, guys. Well, it is dinner time here. I got to take out. Thanks for stopping in. I'll definitely be doing more live streams, maybe once a month. And yeah, stop in, say hi. If you want to chat with me at all, I do live stream over on Twitch. I'll put a link in the description. Twitch I do every Friday and usually jump on there. Sometimes I stream as long as like 7 hours over on Twitch. It's a little more informal, a lot less people. I can actually kind of read chat. Some of this on YouTube, I'm just like, spanning, and I can't get everything, but here is that link. If anybody wants to reach me over there, you can always hit me up, follow me, and I usually jump out on Friday. But thanks everybody for all the feedback, the comments, everything. That's how I make a lot of my videos, is I see, hey, people are having problems, or I keep getting this question, and then it inspires a video. So thank you all for that. And yeah, amazing. Thank you for everybody that subscribed. 300,000 is well more than I ever thought I'd achieve in my lifetime, and I'm beyond grateful. Thanks, guys. See y'all later.